Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. This is Luke Radowski of WeAreChange.org, and in this video, we are going to be talking about the draconian Article 13 in the European Union, which people are saying is the meme apocalypse. And without exaggeration, memes are set to be illegal in Europe because of this new law and regulation that they're trying to put in here. And to talk about that and a lot more, we have Mance Ryder here joining us, who's a professional memer who is aggressively meming against this. You can find out more information about him through his website as well, Free Man Beyond the Wall, which will be in the description. But Mance, the first thing I wanted to ask you, what is this law? What do people need to know about the specifics of this new regulation coming to the European Union?
Well, if you're an authoritarian, if you love government control, if you want the state to have complete power over anything you put out on the internet, this is the law for you. Basically, what they've come up with is it's a copyright law. So in this video right now, behind me, I have 3 Tesla patents on the wall. And if they saw this video and decided that those might be copyrighted somewhere, they could take the video down. This shirt right here is a bootleg shirt of a band that's very popular. They could decide, well, that's illegal. They can take that down. If you put up a meme that has any picture on it, if the main picture is from a movie, a TV show, they can take that down. It's allegedly it's owned by somebody else. If you put up a picture of yourself to meme, but there's a picture in the background that could possibly be copyrighted, they can take that down. Any video that has anything possibly in the background that is copyrighted, they can take that down. It's a brilliant way to present tyranny over information in the European Union by making the excuse that money's being stolen from people through intellectual property theft.
And you would think the Europeans, through their turbulent history, would understand that total government control of information would be a bad thing. But no, not at all. And they're repeating the same kind of historical mistakes. And they're doing it under the guise of kind of copyright reform. And this law has been in the works from April 2016. In June 20th of this year, they're going to be finalizing it, finally voting on it in order to push it through. But some of the articles in here, Article 11 will prevent people from posting news snippets for businesses and also personal people, which also includes people on Facebook, on Twitter, on social media sites. Article 13 will make sure that websites will have to monitor everything every single user is posting and make sure that there's no copyrighted information. And of course, they're saying, no, this is going to be great. We're going to be able to make sure people's property is kept intellectually and kept within them, and then they get to monetize correctly. But ultimately, this is a very slippery slope into something very scary and also just very unintuitive. And already, because of regulations here, news websites had to stop even publishing in Europe because of the strict regulations here. So I don't see this going in any good way.
And of course, they're going to have to make concessions for sites like Twitter unless they want to take certain Twitter accounts down. I mean, you have blue check marks. I mean, the most vile blue check marks out there, like Bill Kristol, people like that, the biggest warmongers responsible for 100 times more deaths than Kim Jong-un has ever done, who post news clips all the time. So if he posts a news clip up there, is it going to be taken down? No. But I throw a meme up there, well, it might have to be censored in Europe. Well, how do you censor it in Europe? Are they going to come up with a Europe filter? No, they'll probably just shut my account down. I mean, think about it. That's what they're going to have to. They're going to have to shut accounts like me and Sal the Agorist and Anarchy Ball. I mean, they'll have to get rid of us or find a way to filter us out. But I mean, Twitter has no problem with getting rid of popular accounts. So why would they care?
Yeah, and they're slowly doing it with selected people, using it as an excuse. And, again, this whole divide and conquer thing, the left, right, they're taking certain outcasts and they're making them kind of these black sheep, and they're making it more socially acceptable and normalizing it to people that yes, you could have your freedom of speech, you could have your freedom of expression just totally censored. And we're seeing that on so many levels. We're seeing it the hard way, we're seeing it the soft way, especially on YouTube, not only with demonetization, but with the algorithm, making sure that people don't see the videos that they're subscribed to while they're pushing Logan Paul down your throat and all this other idiocracy bullcrap to dumb us down. So we're seeing this whole thing proliferate into a really bad thing. And the next point I wanted to get into is, you know, memes are important. Memes are on the line right now. Whether they're, you know, a good or bad and have different effects on people, they're a very important form of expression that you've been using to kind of express yourself. I, you know, really appreciate your memes. Some of them are like, oh, wow, that's really controversial. But other ones are like right on point, right on the logic, and you can express yourselves more than you can through just any form of journalism with just a simple meme. Can you talk about the importance of memes and the work you've been doing and the effect you've been having with just some of the work that you've been doing?
Well, one thing I do is I used to have it on my Twitter account that I would not accept private messages, direct messages from anybody unless they were a follower. And now, and if I was only following them, well, I've opened it up to the public, and I don't show my private messages a lot. Every once in a while I will, if it's particularly something nasty, just to show, you know, people how many lunatics are out there. But I've been making a point of screenshotting messages that I've been getting about people who've actually said, you know, I used to defend the police. I used to defend every police action out of hand, no matter what. And, you know, some of the memes you put out there that have statistics on it, I went and I looked at them, and I've changed my mind on the police. I've changed my mind on state power. I've changed my mind on this. I've changed my mind on that. I've actually thought about, you know, basically doing like an ebook of some sort where I just put out, where I talk about, where I'll post pictures of these messages and just talk about, you know, what went into, what the information was it took to change people's minds. I mean, people talk about memes like they're, you know, I mean, cave drawings were memes. You know, Martin Luther putting up the 95 Theses was a meme. The memes, join or die in the Revolutionary War, the posters that were all over the place were memes. I mean, memes have been used throughout history. Anytime you see an election poster, that's a meme. Well, memes change people's minds no matter what you think. And I know there's a lot of people out there who consider themselves intellectuals, and it's just too little information for them, and that's fine. You know, that's fine. But there are a lot of people. I mean, there was a time in my life where I was not interested in reading anything that was any book that wasn't about sports or, you know, about a sports figure or a musician. And then I got into reading classical literature, and that allowed me, it expanded my mind enough that it allows me to read a book like Man, Economy, and State. So you start small, and some people just, you know, it's a great form of communication. It gets people thinking. It gets people mad. And if anything, it'll get people fighting. Yeah. You know, and if people get fighting, you know, I'm one of these people who does not believe that we're going to have true freedom in this life by everybody coming together. I think everybody coming together is a complete impossibility. I think we need to separate. And I think if I put memes out there that cause people to fight and separate more, well, then people are going to realize that, you know, electing one person to rule over 350 million people is retarded. And we need to break up, and we need to make this smaller. So anything I can do to help, I'm here.
I definitely agree with diversifying, not the fighting stuff. I think we had a lot of that and a lot of divide and conquer used so people don't realize that idea. But that's an interesting concept that you bring up. Maybe we could even just have a debate on that later. But the meme warfare is definitely ramping up, not only through this latest kind of European Union legislation, but also a lot of other things happening right now in Europe, especially in the United Kingdom, where people are being arrested for offensive Facebook and Twitter posts. Right now, there's even major websites that are being blocked in the European Union because of these new regulations. In the UK, 9 people a day are arrested because of trolling. It's just insane what's happening. In a year, nearly 3,400 people are arrested each year in the United Kingdom. and hate speech arrests have gone up 900%. And if we look at examples from these arrests, it's ludicrous, stupid, little forms of expression like a dog raising his hand and someone making a joke, making fun of, Hitler, that get thrown into the mix, into this new government kind of official jail. And the taxpayers are, of course, paying for people to be prosecuted for making simple jokes. The last thing that I wanted to talk to you about is fighting back and expressing yourself, since you're doing that in meme format. We have people right now calling to reach out to their representatives in the European Union with SaveTheInternet.eu. Personally, the problem that caused this situation, I don't always see as a solution. I could understand how some people see as a way to galvanize their politicians to vote against this and to put to get rid of these hard laws against the meme warfare that the European Union is trying to pass. But to me, one basic solution is trying to use VPNs. And I'm going to link to a VPN service that I use in the description of this video, because then they can't really track you, and you could use the internet like a free person from any country that you choose. And if you're in the European Union right now, you can't see a lot of websites, and soon you may not even be able to see memes. I wanted to get your comment on that and your comment on possible solutions to this crazy government draconian power that's being established here.
Well, I think VPNs are really important. I think anyone who's used services like Kodi or any kind of IPTV services over the past years, like I have, is very familiar with VPNs. Political action. You're basically begging for your rights. Okay, your rights may be taken away from you, but you're begging for them, and it doesn't always work. My idea of voting is, the only thing I would even consider voting for is if, like, locally there was they were going to raise the sales tax like 5% or something like that. Then I would go vote no on that one thing. And then when I got my jury duty notice, I'd go in there and I'd talk about jury nullification to anyone who would listen. But I think VPNs are a great way, but man, the greatest way to fight all this is grassroots, is getting out there and talking to people and doing it on social media. Doing it on social media is really the best way. I mean, I talk to people face to face all the time, but unless you can really sit down and spend time with people, a lot of what you say, they say you have to hear something 7 times before you understand it, or before you even remember it. So you can have one conversation with somebody and maybe it'll trigger something that'll send them off on a rabbit trail. But really, I think social media is so important to just get out there and make your voice heard. A lot of time, people say, why do you bother with the trolls? Why do this? Why do that? Well, because of the person who's lurking, the person who's looking on and not saying anything. I would say 80% of the people on the internet are probably lurking, and they don't really feel like they feel like either they don't have the intellect to get into the conversation, or they're embarrassed and they're shy. So that's who you're doing it for. I mean, this morning I had tried to have a conversation with somebody, but they were complete lunatics. So I made some posts, made my points, and have dismissed them. But as far as this goes, man, we really just have to talk to people. We need to just make people realize that exactly what this is, like we're doing right now. I mean, we've explained exactly what this is. I mean, this isn't about copyright. This isn't about money. This is about control. It always is. The people in power, most of the people in power, I love the very first episode of House of Cards. Frank puts down his former campaign manager, Remy. He says he went after money. And didn't go after power. He goes, I choose power. That's what these people are interested in. If you have power, money doesn't really matter. If you have power, money's going to come your way anyway. So people really need to concentrate on who's in power and what you can do. Anything we can do to delegitimize that power. That's what my first book, Freedom Through Memedom, is about. It's about delegitimizing the power of government. So, I mean, that's basically it.
And it definitely starts with the conversation. It definitely starts with the information and the share of knowledge. And Mance, thank you for having that with me, and also the incredible memes that you do, which of course we're going to link to your account in the description below. And again, guys, it's really just about spreading this information. So if this video resonated with you, share it with your friends and family members, and think about the possibilities. What if everyone, not only in the European Union, but just everywhere in the world, started using VPNs, and governments and corporations couldn't track any of us? Imagine what kind of world that would be, and that world is possible, I think. And it's only possible because of small actions that we all take. So again, I love you guys. Thank you again so much for watching, subscribing, donating, and being here with us. Stay tuned for a lot more.